Hi, hope you're doing well. Well, we've decided on the garden bed behind me that we're going to plant three flowers. We're going to plant celosia, coxcomb, and zinnia. I don't want to put a shade cloth over the garden bed that's supposed to have beautiful flowers filled in it. I don't want to see a shade cloth above it. So I decided I'm going to keep the papaya, let it grow to about 7 feet tall, and trim it, or I'll trim it now, and then it'll produce an offshoot, and then it won't get as tall. So, and then I'm hoping that it's a female papaya. Not sure. Too early to tell. So I'm going to keep that papaya in. I'm going to take the parsley out. It needs to come out because it needs to go in shade. And I'm also going to remove the carrot when it's ready because I checked the carrot and the carrot is starting to bolt. It'll flower. After it flowers, it'll go to seed and we'll harvest the seed and then we'll pull the carrots out. I doubt they will taste well. I don't think carrots taste well in 90-degree weather consistent, but it'll be interesting. I'm going to try it. That is the plans for this bed. Going to amend the soil, and then if I have time, oh, and I'm going to plant the flowers. I'm going to plant the seeds. If I have time, which I'm hoping I do, I'm going to take some papayas that I've grown in the other garden beds, just like threw them in there. They are doing great. Hopefully I won't upset them too much. I'm going to put them in pots. And I was thinking about like putting them in like a smaller pot and graduating them up to bigger and bigger pots, but I don't like taking a plant in a small area and put it in a bigger area, but they're already in garden beds, so they're in a huge area. Just to be really careful with the root system, they're probably going to be dramatic. So I'm literally going to have the pots ready to go, take them out and put them in their pots. And I think I'm just going to put them in big pots already and keep them elevated on bricks because papayas hate their roots wet. They hate sitting in water. They're so prone to root rot. You have no idea. And I love papaya, so I'm going to try to plant, replant, repot as many as I can find in the garden. They're really teeny tiny ones. I'm going to leave them and give them a chance to get a little bit bigger. But a couple of them I have now that are almost about 3 feet tall. So I need to put them in their own perspective area. And hopefully I have time for that. We do have like not poor, almost poor air quality right now, or our air quality is not that great because we do have a fire going on in Miami-Dade County, which is the next county over from me. From this morning, it was 600 acres burning. I don't know what it is now. It does smell like it's burning outside. It doesn't smell good at all. I'm okay. I'll be okay. I don't have asthma. I know the people that do have asthma or have problems breathing, they advise them that they really shouldn't be outside. So with the heat, humidity, and the air quality not so great, I'll see what I can do. I would like to get as much done as possible. So I'm going to get started.
Here I'm taking out a parsley, which I cannot believe that it's actually made it through the summer. The roots are pretty good, so that's a good sign, but it's also harder to take out. So I decided to use my shovel and I'm just going to replant it in another flower bed. I do have some flowers there. I don't remember what kind. And now I'm going to start filling up the bed. Um, the soil did get a little compacted, and also it's just good to do a refresh. I'm using organic soil potting mix. I'm not doing soil, I'm doing potting mix. You can do soil, but this potting mix is wet, so the bag was really heavy and it looks pretty dark. So I'm adding some perlite to the mix because I want it to be a little more aerated for the flowers. And I'm not really disturbing any of the substrate below what I added on. That's just because the soil microbiome is so rich. I have so many worms that are so happy underneath. So, and then I'm just putting like a really light layer. This might be soil, not sure, but it's just such a super light layer. It really is not going to make any difference. And then I'm just like planning out what seeds I'm going to plant. I went over it with my daughter last night, and I have her approval, and we have our decision we made. So just kind of putting like the taller flowers toward the middle and the lower toward the front.
So this is the lineup. Also, it's good for me to know what's going on so I remember what I planted. And I'm just trying to plant something where I wanted to do somewhat like type of a rainbow. No, rainbow. Ombre effect. So this is the pink senorita. Oklahoma carmine. And then I'm planting the coxcomb because they get a little bit taller in the middle. And then I have the zinnia there. Oh, so let me show you the bolting we have. There you go. There is our carrot, our gigantic carrot. That's probably gonna taste horrible. I mean, it should. It's not supposed to taste good. And then, here we go. Here's the flowers. Very excited. Very happy. Look at that big thing there. All right. And then I'm gonna mess with this thing. So, I'm gonna start planting the seeds. It's getting later and it's like so hot out. It's like ridiculous. But I have to keep going.
So here's just like a little screenshot of what I planted. It's just easier for me to keep track. I can look back on it and see what sprouted and what didn't do well. So everything I have direct sown, and for some reason it did not record. So this is post sowing the seeds. I'm just direct sowing them. Um, I put down some hog panel fencing I had cut just so it can protect them from little critters or outdoor kitties or possums that just want to run around and trample in my garden beds. I'd like to have a little fun in there, but the hog panel fences do a really good job deterring them, just to give the plants, a minute to grow. Once the bed's full, nobody likes to go in there. So um, I used it many times and it works great.
The next day, I did not get a chance to finish moving the papayas and repotting them. Well, taking them out of the garden bed and putting them in pots. The smell was just so bad. I could not work from the smell and the smoke from the fires. Even though they're in Dade County, they are out west, and I live out west, even though I'm in Broward. But I just couldn't take it. It just was so bad. And I feel so bad for the animals and the people that are actually near the fires. And when the wind takes it, it takes it right through here. And I just couldn't garden. It was terrible. I brought my tortoises inside. I was concerned about could this be like the best perfect moment? I was concerned about their safety and welfare. I don't want them smelling the smoke. It's much better. I can be honest with you. I don't even know. I just stopped watching the news. I was just so tired about hearing of it. It just was so sad. I sometimes things like that are too much. So I just kind of let that work its way out. We did take a break and we went up to Ocala area and we did go kayaking. So if you see my shorts, I am going to finish with the papayas. There's other things that I have to do. Being that it's 10 days, look, there are things growing in the bed. I am really excited about that. And I think this papaya is a female and I don't have to trim it because I did have dwarf papaya seeds um, that our cousin gave us, but it never germinated. And then when seeds don't germinate, I just reuse the soil. I amend it and I pot it in something else. I don't know if this is from a dwarf papaya seed, but if this papaya only gets that much bigger and I get fruit, I'm saving those seeds and hopefully it won't get that big. It'll just stay that small. That would be awesome. You don't want to get papayas off a plant that's like 12 feet tall. It's just a pain. But of course, I'm going to do it. I love papaya, and so does Ricky and Randy. I'm going to get started and see where I'm going to put these papayas at. Before I get really started, I just want to update you on this papaya. It's not even that tall. This is great. I would love a dwarf papaya, and that should be female. That should be female. And look, my daughter's carrots are flowering. So that means they'll flower, they'll die off, and they will go to seed. And then she'll have her little carrot seeds. Here's the bed, show you what's sprouting. I think I put over, I want to say 200 seeds in here. So that's what I'm getting so far. I'm getting some things sprouting, some things take later than others. So you just have to wait, just have to water and wait. Don't let the seeds dry out. This will be very interesting. And you see that I have fencing here, metal fencing, because I don't want my kitty cats, my outdoor cats, or possums or raccoons to come in here and start playing around. And yes, it does work. When the flower beds are full, the cats don't bother them at all. When they're empty, it's like a playground. So we don't want anybody in here right now.
So I'm going to my garden bed that I just threw these papaya seeds in the middle here and just left them on their own, and they grow great. This is from March. So I'm in June. This is March. Can you just believe? I just can't believe how fast things grow. Things grow incredibly fast in South Florida. So I'm being very careful. This is sped up. So I am working much slower, but I sped up the video so this wouldn't take forever. And it's not very exciting me uprooting a plant. So I'm being very careful not to damage the roots. I know this is going to be upsetting to this plant. Um, I have potting mix, or it might be potting soil. I'm not sure. I'm just using what I have. And I put some perlite in there for aeration because you know papayas do not like sitting in water, and I'm by myself, so I don't have anybody like holding up the stalk and then, keeping it straight. Now, do you see how the water's pulling? This is where you have to use critical thinking skills. They don't like to sit in water. So when you see something that you know they're not going to like, you have to change it. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of like aerating the soil there, just adding it up, and then I'm adding more perlite so I have more aeration and more drainage. So this papaya is going to stay happy in its pot and not miserable. All right, it's time to start on the plantains.
I just pulled these up. Something's wrong. They're not happy. They're not happy here. These aren't my dwarf Cavendish. These are um, plantains that a friend gave us, and I had them here. They were here before the frost we had, and we did wrap them, but they are not happy here. They're not thriving here. So something's going on. Um, I have plenty of roots here. So let me see if I can find my machete or a knife or something short. I'm just going to trim it down to the end, and then I'm going to pot them. They'll grow. They'll grow back. They have rhizomes. They'll grow back. I'm not worried about that. But I'm not even going to plant them anywhere in the ground. Gosh, these bananas took a hit. They're getting there. They're getting better. I know these are all dwarf Cavendish. This one, this one is dwarf Namois, and that one is a truly tiny. I don't like them sitting out there because, well, I'm the only one that mows the lawn. I won't let my husband mow the lawn, so I won't run that over. But I do. I should put something there just in case. Nobody's perfect, and it's Randy's little jungle gym back here. He likes it back here. And when we do have bananas and they sprout and some of the fruit drops, he knows this is his little snacking spot. And I have to clean this patch up too. So I'm going to go ahead and look for my machete. If not, I'm going to look for something really sharp and pot these plantains up. They're not.
So what I'm trying to do is just cut the bottoms of the plantains and salvage the rhizomes. I found a sharp shovel that did the trick. So that does not look good. That looks diseased. That's not good. I'm not going to use that. I mean, even if I tried to plant that, I don't know what that would turn into. Um, That looks much better, but I'm as I'm critiquing myself on this voiceover, I should have cleaned that shovel. I should have cleaned that shovel just in case there was something on there when I use the next one. I couldn't cut the next one. I'm contemplating if I'm just going to replant it like that, but most likely I won't.
All right, I'm losing light, but it was able to cut the bottoms off the plantain, the very unhappy plantain, and I put it in a pot, put it aside in my little area of my garden where I keep like my small trees. I think they'll grow back. I found another one also. I found I think a dwarf Cavendish, a small one, and I planted that as well in pots. This way I can move them, I can give them away, decide what I want to do. Because I have enough back there, but they're all like the same age, same size. So not sure how that what my banana season is going to be. Usually, I get for some reason the cycle. I get bananas in September. I think with the frost that we had, I what are we in June? July, August, 3 months. I don't think we're gonna get. I don't think we're gonna get bananas this year. I really don't. Maybe the truly tiny. I might get something because I brought that inside. It was in a pot when we had the frost. But I don't think I'm gonna get bananas this year, which I'm like a little disappointed because I love them, and so do the tortoises. So the bananas are done. The plantains are done. I moved one papaya only. I left the other one in the bed because what I'm hoping by design, by nature's design, is that papaya will become like an umbrella over that that garden bed, and then I can take down the shade cloth because it's not a really pretty uh, addition to the garden, but it serves a purpose, which is providing shade so I can have food. It's going to get to a point where I'm not going to be able to take it out, and I probably won't. I had a papaya in one of my beds before, and it did wonderful. It did too well. It got too big. That was our fault. We didn't trim it. I hope you like and subscribe because I'm growing very slowly but organically. Have a great day. Take care, and I'll see you next time.